So when I married Pastor Eve, I wanted to give her a surprise. Now this was before we got our financial freedom. But
I had to work a lot to make sure I show her something different. She knew that I was sleeping in this one rented room. A simple cubicle in Chibuye. I had 2 rooms by then. Them being 2 was according to my perception, but in actual sense it was 1 room and it had a curtain in the middle.
So, to me, rooms are 2.
I had 2 rooms.
If
I would just sway the curtain, then I would be in a different kingdom. I would be in the kingdom where I sleep. And when I would return beyond the curtain, I would be in the sitting room.
I even picture my room even at this time. When I would leave,
I bought my curtains from Tanzania. They were international curtains.
I went to
Tanzania. And I wanted to bring something that I've never seen in Uganda. They were green curtains with some designs. And people would say, oh, those ones are peculiar.
I'm sure others would say that's weird, but others were saying different. I don't know. I don't care. So anyway, when I
would leave the bed, on one side, where the door swings to, I had 2 stoves. One was for the wicks. The other one, I had to pump it. You know those ones. And to help you make some hand exercise every morning. Some of them will give you real work until you sweat. That is where I would put the bigger saucepan. The bigger saucepan would sit on the smaller saucepan, the one of sauce.
I have to economize the space.
And then the plates would be also in the same space. Next to the door. That was the kitchen, in other words. I had a whole kitchen area behind the door. And I would know how to open that door. You don't just open, the whole kitchen might collapse. And you pour everything. And on the other side, I had a chair. They would make a letter L. And a table. So from the bed, I would go in to go to the doorway. I had to move at angle theta. Turn a little bit. You don't just move carelessly.
So,
you have to be very careful. And as I was going to marry, I said, Nedda. I know she thinks I'll bring her to this place. I pray to God for grace. I raised the money for the wedding as though there was no tomorrow. And people were thinking, oh, he has loved the woman so much. He has invested in the wedding. I was not only working for the wedding, I was also working for the day after the wedding and the following months. I knew it. That only regarding the wedding do I have the authority and the right to ask people for their money. Without them backbiting. But the moment I ask for money after the wedding, they will all talk about me.
Omukazi yawasizza waaki nga talina nzimuliisa.
Why did he marry this woman when he doesn't have
konze nja kusaba ssente kasita tebagenda kungiyeza lwa ssente za mbaga.
I said, let me ask for all the money for the wedding. No one will backbite me.
Nengola ka briefcase.
So I bought a briefcase.
Kali ka brown.
It was brown.
Buno obuggulawo nga bulina combination.
The ones with the combinations.
Nenteeka mu budget.
I put my budget.
Ne Bayibuli yange.
And my Bible.
N'akapapula kwe mpandiika abansuubizza.
And where I make my pledge list. For all those that have promised.
Nga buli nnaku nkeera mu kibuga ng'agenza okukola.
And every morning I would go to the city like I'm going to work.
Nakwata briefcase eri.
I held that briefcase.
Kata n'omugongo gukyame.
It was almost bending my back.
Mu buvunaanyizi obutali butono.
It was not simple responsibility.
Nga nyambalira ddala nga omusajja agenze okukola.
I would put on so smartly like I'm going to for some good
ekibuga
work.
kyonna nkimanyi.
I knew the whole city.
Buli akola awantu wonna gwe mmanyi mba mmanyi w'abeera.
I knew whoever worked in the city, their location, as long as I knew them.
Ssaawa mmeka?
At what time?
Zonna okugenda ku dduuka lya gundi.
That I'll go to the other one's shop.
Nga tannabagenda mu lunch hour.
Before they go for their lunch hour.
Ssaawa mmeka?
What time?
Ono waabeerera n'emirembe ng'atalina bakasitoma bangi.
This one will be free without many clients.
Ninzaba ssente.
And I asked for money.
Nga tewali muzannyo.
Without any joke.
Ninsaba Mukama ampe ekisa ky'ozisevinga.
And I pray to God to give me the grace to save it.
Era mu abavubuka abali wano.
And young people here.
Sente zonna z'ofuna ku mbaga tozimala ku mbaga.
Don't just spend all the wedding contributions on the wedding.
Waliwo abakola embaga ey'amaanyi naye oluva mu honeymoon.
Some people make great weddings, but after the honeymoon,
ate n'adda mu buto.
They go back to zero.
Nze nno bwe nzijidde wano nga n'omugole nga n'omugole simanyi bwe tunayita mu kiro kino.
I don't know how we are going to go through that.
Ebyo babigeyeza.
They will backbite you because
Neti
of
lyayinza
that.
kugamba nti omusajja yanzabye sente z'embaga aliko ki.
But no one will backbite you for asking for the money for the wedding.
N'empandiika buli gwe nali mmanyi mu bulamu bwange.
So I wrote down everybody I knew in my life.
Bwe twasoma nabo.
The ones we went to school with.
Abanjagala n'abatanjagala.
Those who loved me and not.
Ne mmanya basobola okumpa sente ku mbaga.
But I knew for the wedding they would support.
Ne nteeka wansi.
I listed them
Ne
down.
mbanoonya.
I looked for them.
Amanyi gundi aliwa.
So and so and so.
Ne nkola ka network tewali masimu.
There were no phone calls.
Ne mpita mu kibuga kyonna.
But I walked through the city.
Mukama nampa omukisa.
God blessed me.
Sente ne zijja.
People give me money.
Kanenga nti akati ku sente zino.
And then I said on this money.
Waliwo bagenda okujja.
Some people will come
n'okumanya nga tebamanyi.
to the wedding when they don't even know me.
Ne bagala kunywa soda.
But they want to take my soda.
Olunaamala nga boogera embaga yanyumye.
And after that they will say the wedding was great.
Oh, teyanyumye.
It wasn't.
Who cares?
On your fire.
Nze njagala Eva yekasa oba komenti zammwe
All
muzeesigaliza.
I want is my wife. You can retain your comments.
Weebaza Mukama tewaali social media.
Thank God tewaliwo mutimbagano by then.
N'amasimu.
And phones.
Nenga nze sente zonna ziteeke mu soda.
To put all this money in soda.
No. Sente zange bazimpadde.
It is now my money. They give
Zambaga.
it to me for the wedding.
Nze embaga eyange.
And my wedding
si ya lunaku lumu.
is not for one day.
Embaga eyange.
My wedding
ya lunaku lwa mbaga n'obulamu obuddako awo.
is for the day of the wedding and the next life after that.
So of course nawa abantu bange ebyokunywa.
Of course I fed and made people
n'ebyokulya.
at the wedding.
Era yali y'amaanyi.
And it was a great
Era nali
wedding.
mutuufu.
And I was right.
Nalaba abantu besibalina kumanya nti ono yanonye ekyono.
I saw people I didn't know. And I wondered why they were present.
Bazze okundira emmere yange.
Come to eat my food.
Naye ne nsala amagezi.
But I devised means.
Ne nfissaawo.
I retained some good money.
Oba wayagadde kumpa mukisa Ssenyonga ne Eva. Oba wampadde mukisa guleke gutambuleko n'ennaku eziddako.
If you decided to bless us, let the blessing continue.
Ngenda kupangisa Makindi mu Kizungu.
And I said I'm going to rent in Makindi in Kizungu.
Mu biseera byange ku sente zange.
In our days with the money I had,
ogenda mu Kizungu.
Going to Kizungu
kyali kinene.
was big.
Nenfuna emyezi ebiri.
And I got some two-roomed house.
Rooms ebiri.
Some two-roomed house.
Kinaabiro kya munda.
And the bathroom was inside.
Manyi nali mu Kibuye awo.
Remember I was in Chibuye?
nga ffenna tunaabira mu community bathroom.
And nga ffenna ekinaabiro kye tunaabiramu kye kya bonna.
Muteeka wali amazzi ne gasimba layini.
Your basins have to line up to know who is next.
Ndoza tebakyabikola ebyo kati. Osimba layini.
You line up.
Bakyala ne beesiba tawulo.
And the ladies will put on their towels.
Nze nzirako.
I'm the one next.
Banange amazzi gange gawola gwe ngaaliyo tovaayo.
My water is getting cold.
Kati embaga ewedde.
So after the wedding,
eri rooms 2.
ezaddala ku luno. 2-roomed house.
Ate nga nene bulungi.
And they were big.
Kinaabiro kya munda.
And the bathroom was inside.
Waliwo ne kasitoowa.
And there was a store.
Ne mpulira nga ninga ali mu hoteri.
I felt like I was in a hotel.
Olwava ku mbaga bwe twakola after party yaffe yali mu kyalo.
After our reception, which was in the village.
No, reception yali mu Kampala.
The reception was in Kampala.
And then we took the wedding in the village.
Netwala ne after party in Embaga endala mu kyalo.
On the same night.
Kiro kye kimu.
Twakoowa nnyo.
We got so tired.
Ku makya.
In the morning,
atuvuga tukomawo.
We drove back.
Nempangisiza nga nakoze da plan.
I had already made plans
y'okutwala Eva in Nairobi.
Of taking my wife to Nairobi.
For honeymoon.
Ku honeymoon.
Kati ekyo tokimanya kukimanya kubanga Nairobi nga kitwala ennaku 4 ku bus.
You don't even understand because by then going to Nairobi took 4 days on the bus.
Naku nga 3 wezityo.
For 3 days.
Ng'ebinnya ebiri wano paka kuva wano kupaka Nairobi.
And the potholes between here and Nairobi.
Nga ne bus eyinza okubuliramu bweti. Ne bulukuka luvannyuma. So nga tutambula mpola.
So there was a slow journey.
Nguudo zaali mbi.
The roads were bad. They were terrible.
Naye nga namazidde okutegeka.
But I'd already prepared.
Naye bwe namutwala Makindi yagenda okulaba tetugenda Kibuye.
When I took her to Makindi, she realized we were not going to Kibuye.
Tetugenda Kibuye.
We were not going to Kibuye.
Twambuka.
We were going up.
Tuyitawo ndoza wayitawo ku Moland Po baba kyaliwaawo.
Passing by Moland Po.
Twambuka.
Going up.
Nga tetukyamye.
And she asked me, why aren't we branching off?
Tugenda kuyita walala.
We are going to pass in another route.
Ate walala kinga tuyiseewo.
We are.
Nga simulaga.
I was not telling her.
Tugenda okulaba akasozi kaweddeyo.
She realized
Makindi ku military.
We had gone by the Makindi military hill.
Tukirira bwe tuti.
And we were sloping down.
Kirabika tetugenda gye eri. Nga nti tulina kyetunoona wano.
I told her we are picking something.
Tulina kyetunoona wano.
We are picking something.
Tukirira bwe tuti.
We went down.
Tuwese. Tugenza awantu.
Branched, went to another
nga wafaanana ng'omuntu.
It looked so beautiful as a human being.
We
packed.
Nga soko veemu.
I told her first get out.
Nzijayo ebisumuluzo.
Then she saw me taking out the keys.
Welcome to your new home. Yawasa brother wa mu church.
She got married to a church brother.
Ali akuba ngalo na kubuulira njiri ensi ya mutamadda.
He was only clapping hands and preaching the gospel.
Naye ng'obwavu buwera mu nsawo.
But he was very poor.
Agenda okulaba tuyingira ekintu.
Then she realized we are getting into something new.
Agenda okutuuka nga bulimu ne TV.
There was even a TV set.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Black and white. Amafuta asanyazo gaba matono nka ekulaga mukyere gwokka tette. Etandika ssaawa nnyo kola.
It would begin working at 10 p.m.
Muzimanyi zino nga zirimu ebibuumumpwe emabega eyo nga zaako ekitala bwekyo ekyomunda bwekitinga. Tutandika okulaba ssaawa nnya nga amasanyalaze gaweze kuba amasanyalaze gaba matono teraga.
We would watch from 10 p.m. when the power is enough. It would not show with low power.
Ekyo si kyekyali ekikulu.
That wasn't the most important. The most important was
twalina TV.
We had a TV set in our house.
Temunkubiddeko na mu ngalo. Naguze dda n'entebe.
I had even bought chairs.
Plastic carpet.
Carpet ya plastic.
Kati muzinyooma nnaku zino.
Nowadays we despise them.
Naye ebiseera ebyo.
But in those days,
okubeera nayo ng'oli VIP.
Having that plastic carpet, you'd be a VIP.
Ne mutwala mu kisenge.
Then I took her to the bedroom.
Nga waliyo obuliri.
And there was a bed.
N'ebirala bwe biti. Tawulo mpya buli kintu kyonna.
New towels.
Aba avaamu ekinanga ate no tugenda.
And as she was relaxing, I told her, we are going now. We are going to Nairobi.
Why
would I leave this place? Let us stay. I showed her touch.
I
felt like I was worth a man and a half.
And from the bedroom, and
I walked through the first door. I'm a great man. She would look at me and she couldn't understand me. And I had saved some money, had money in my pocket. And I was showing her serving God is not a loss. Because when she told her father that she's marrying a preacher from church, he marveled and said, you're going to die of poverty. Why have you gotten married to a preacher? My
She
didn't want to leave Makindi. She didn't even want to go to Nairobi. Let us stay here.
We had to go to Nairobi.
Now I will not tell you what happened in Nairobi, but we enjoyed. Even spending days on the road was nice.
Actually,
we even stayed at a certain point. Some people would sleep in the bus and others would find a motel to sleep, and we went out.
The journey was good. But what I'm trying to say, some of you, the reason I told you that story,
I paid for 3 months. I felt I was able. I'm talking about you being able to afford where you stay.
Yes,
I rarely tell these stories, so when I tell them, I also enjoy them. When those 3 months, those 3 months didn't have any problem. They didn't have any issue.
We enjoyed each other. We loved every minute.
And since I was staying in one bedroom, and one room, and I was cooking for myself when I was single.
By the way,
I didn't know.
I
used to make good omelets. I would fry eggs very well. I would fry eggs very nicely. Very good at frying eggs. One day I prepared eggs for my wife and she said, I've never eaten such a nice egg. But what is to remind me of Makindi Kizungu very much was starting the life of a husband. In such a big house, I was the man. It was so nice. I told you I would enjoy calling me to the sitting room to come to eat. And when food was about to be ready, I would intentionally move from the sitting room to the bedroom, so that I do some things there. Read the Bible. Be busy. Be busy in the bedroom. The only thing I enjoyed about it, honey, come, the food is ready.
okutambula obutambuzi
walking
okuva mu kisenge
from the bedroom
nzije
to come
ku mmeeza tulye
to the sitting room and we eat.
nga mpulira ekitiibwa ekitali kya bulijjo
I would feel such a peculiar honor
kubanga nasulanga mu kazigo
because I used to sleep in my one room
nga nze neeyoleza ebintu
where I would wash the utensils.
ate nga ndi mubulizi wa njiri
And I was a preacher.
luusi batuyita kugenda okubuulira enjiri
Sometimes they would call us to go and preach the gospel,
nguluusi kya mangu mangu
and sometimes it would be so quick.
oluusi batusanga ku kyaki
Sometimes they would find us at church.
emmotoka eva ku somewhere redeemed nejja tugenda kubuulira njiri
A
bannange
car comes from Redeemed Church and says, we are going to preach the gospel.
tunonye ku kawaya ka mizindaalo wano
We are looking for some audio cable here.
nga bansanga ku kyaki mugendawo
They found me at church and I asked them, where are we going?
kabula soke
Kabula, it's okay.
naku mmeka
How many days?
wiiki emu
1 week.
oyagala kgenda
Do you want to go?
ebintu nalese sibyoze
And I left the utensils not washed.
tugenze kubuulira
We
njiri
go preach the gospel.
I ever been like that
Nalimba deka.
naye okubeerawo nga kyanyumira
I enjoyed it so much.
byonna byali birungi
Everything was nice
paka emyezi esatu bwejaggwako
until the 3 months ended.
mu mwezi ogwokuna
4 months.
nga giri emyezi esatu gye twasasula giweddeko
After the 3 months we had paid for, we are done.
ne ntandika okulaba nga neetaaga okukkiriza okunene
I realized I needed great faith
okutabangawo
like never
ate nga
before.
sagala mukyala pasita iva awulire nti tunaakola tutya
And I didn't want my wife to think about what shall we do.
nga bwambuuza kaakati
When she would ask me, now,
twalina landlord
we had a landlord.
ate nga yaasulawo
He was staying with us within the
Bannange,
same block.
mukama akusaasire
May God have mercy on you.
landlord waleme kubanga asula awo
May your landlord not be your neighbor.
nga bw'oyingira bwoti
The moment you would come in,
gw'osookerako
the landlord was the first one.
ye nga yainvesti nga talina mirimu mirala
He had invested in his houses, had no other work.
atuula awo
He would sit there.
bw'okomawo
So when he would come back,
kuliikayo
he will come back.
musajja munene bw'ati
He's a big man.
ng'era omukuba n'akafaananyi nga tonnaba kuva kukomawo nti atudde wali
Where he's seated before you arrive.
ndowooza ali mu saati ye eya bbulu
And you know, I think he's in his blue t-shirt.
He became a monster to me now. ng'akubuuza ako akaveera k'ositudde konna konna
That whole kavera you are carrying.
ndowooza kansuubire n'ebyango bitereezezza
Let
leero
me hope you have worked on me also.
muwulira abantu babinyumya nga mulowooza basaaga
You hear people talking about those things and you think they are joking.
buli twafumbanga enva ennungi eziwunya akawoobwe ziti
Whenever we would cook good sauce and the aroma is nice,
ng'asindika omwana
he would send one of his children
kokokokoko
and knocks.
muzeeyi agambye
Daddy has said.
so my point here is I'm giving you an example here.
Nze ngezako kuwa ekyokulabirako wano.
We didn't sit down
Tetwatuula
to discuss our ability to pay,
kwogera ku busobozi bwaffe bwa
our
kusasula
inflow and outflow
oba tunaasaasanya tutya tunayingiza tutya
with my family.
ne famiriya.
So we ended up, we're not on salary,
Tetwaliko
so
musaala,
we didn't have any fixed income.
tetwalinako ziyingira ze tumanyi nti ze zino.
So there was no way we can even sit down to discuss about what is not coming and what we have, because everything was by faith.
Kati nga tetulina na ngeri gye twogerako ku ziriwo ezinajja n'ezitajja, buli kimu nga kyakukkiriza.
After I got married,
Naye bwe namala okuwasa,
God blessed us.
Katonda n'atuwa omukisa.
We didn't go so many months. We could have been there for just a few months.
Awo ndowooza twamalawo emyezi mitonotono,
Not so many, not even a year,
si na mwaka,
but several months.
naye emyezi gyawerako.
And we realized
Ne tukitegeera
we cannot continue like this
tetusobola kusigala nga tugenda bwe tuti,
because it puts us into so much pressure,
kubanga kituteeka ku pressure y'amaanyi,
so much stress.
stress nyingi,
Money was very good. It was strong.
sente nga z'amaanyi.
All our neighbors
Balirwana baffe bonna
were Dubai people.
baali bantu b'e Dubai.
During that time, to be working in Dubai, you are the coolest thing
Mu
ever.
biseera ebyo nga bw'oba okola Dubai gwasinga okuba owakabi.
And others had even vehicles.
Abalala nga balina n'emmotoka.
okubanga okola Dubai.
You are working in Dubai.
Era akakyole bakiyitanga mu Dubai.
They would call that place Muchi Dubai.
Kati abamanyi simanyi oba byakyuka dda kati mu Dubai. N'abantu abanyirira.
That's where nice people.
Balina sente.
They had money.
Nange.
I too.
Nenyingira by faith.
I was in Dubai by faith.
Bali balina sente zenyina faith.
Them had money. Me, I had faith.
So we didn't know what to do because the stress was too much. So we decided we are going to make some changes. By the grace of God, that's when God opened a door for me to travel. So the transition came handy. Because God was doing something and we are his servants. But if you put that in a context of a family, of a working family, without these miracles or provisions and all of that, because not all of us are ministers. When you put that in the family context, it could cause tremendous pressure when you try to live above your means. And that's where cheating on God starts. All of a sudden, Lord, you know, the landlord is kicking me out. So this month, no tithe. Lord, you know. No, now you can see, oh Lord. But the thing is, you cannot develop without having a good foundation.